Hi you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Patience. To my existing subscribers, welcome back. If this is your first time here, be sure to click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can continue to indulge in the Hot Bella experience. In today's video, I'm going to be trying out the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Radiant Finish Foundation for the first time. In the original I Am Magic foundation, I used the shade Somalia. I think this shade is Rio. It's a little bit lighter than the Somalia, and I'm glad that Juvia's Place has a large range of shades in this newest formula of foundation. It's a beautiful finish of foundation, and this is what the actual packaging looks like. Very nice packaging. And I'm also going to be using the I Am Magic concealers. These are the original concealers that came out a little while ago. I'm using the shade 12 and 15. So today it's all about the complexion. I used Juvia's Place bronzers. I used Juvia's Place lipstick. I used everything that I possibly could Juvia's Place. I just wanted to play in some makeup today, try out some makeup that I had not tried before, and just focus on the complexion. So if you'd like to see how I created this look, then keep watching. Alright you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started playing in my complexion products today. I am going to be trying out the newest foundation from Juvia's Place. This is the newest foundation from Juvia's Place. This is the I Am Magic Radiant Finish Foundation. So I think that's what it's called. Let me put my glasses on here just to be sure. Yes, this is the I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. This is what we're going to be using today. And then I am going to be using my all-time favorite concealer from Juvia's Place. This is in the shade 12. So I'm going to try to keep the eyes really simple today, right? I'm really trying to focus on the complexion. So I went ahead and pulled out my oldie but goodie MAC eyeshadow palette. This is a Z palette that I picked up from MAC, and I use my own individual MAC shades to just kind of put these in place here. So you can see some of them have gotten quite a bit of love, so that's good. So I'm pulling this out today. I think I'm going to try to stick to one shadow today. You guys know that's so hard for me to do because I always say that and then I end up going in with a shimmer and doing something else, but I'm going to try to stick to one eyeshadow today, the max 2, but we'll see how it works out. But we're going to go ahead and get started here. I've already done my brows and I've also prepped my face. I am going to be coming back in another video and telling you guys what I'm currently doing to prep my face. I've been using some new products and I'm really liking those products, and I'm going to come back and share those products with you here really shortly. But just know that I have prepped my face. I have cleansed, I have toned, I have also used a facial essence, and I have moisturized. Did all that, including primer. I used a primer as part of my prep. So I am now going to get into my eyes. I'm going to start there because I always start with my eyes. I like doing that. I think before I add any shadow, I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of my P. Louise eyeshadow base, just a little bit. And I think in all fairness also for this complexion today, I'm also going to do a little color correcting. I've heard good things about the Radiance foundation from Juvia's Place. I really like the I Am Magic foundation, the matte foundation from Juvia's Place. I really like that. I'm glad that she's given us some options in terms of finish when it comes to the foundations that she's offering, so that's great. I'm still using my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer for my color correcting in my mouth area. I have tried using other color correcting products, but they just don't stand up to my Kevyn Aucoin, so I am sticking with this. This is so far for me the best thing, the best product that I have found for color correcting that gives me the true coverage that I need for color correcting, and also it doesn't peel up. It doesn't seem to have any problems interacting with any other products that I'm using on my face. My Kevyn Aucoin is my go-to for color correcting. I don't use any color corrector in my under eye area anymore. I really rely on my concealer to take care of that for me. I figured that I know that I have the right concealer if it gives me the coverage that I need to cover the discoloration that I have in my under eye area. And I am going to go into this shade right here. This has been a favorite shade of mine for quite some time, it looks like. So I don't know the name of this, but if I can get this out of this palette, I'll be sure to leave it in the description box below. but I'm just going to add some of that just all over the eye. It looks really pretty. This is super pretty. It's I don't know how to describe this. It's not really purple. It's not really gold. It's like a purple, bronzy kind of color. So for the most part, eyes are done. I'm now going in with my Juvia's Place concealer. This is in shade 12. I'm applying this to all the areas that I would normally want to conceal and or highlight. I'm using my typical foundation style brush to blend this foundation in. And I'm starting with this area here first because I want the concealer that I've placed in my under eye area to sit there for just a minute before I start to blend it in, just to give me a little bit more coverage. The concealer from Juvia's Place is really good for coverage. So now I'll start blending in the area under the eye. It's had a chance to sit there for a minute. I did not line my bottom lash line or my waterline as I normally would before I applied my concealer today. That's okay. I think that may be quite all right. I may go with a lighter waterline today anyway. Keep the eyes really soft. But look at that concealer. One application in my under eye area and it's gotten rid of the dark circles underneath here. It looks really, really good. It's a really good concealer. And I think for my waterline, I am going to use a flesh color liner here. This is from MAC. It's not white. It is definitely a flesh tone liner. If you have smaller eyes, a flesh tone eyeliner can really be helpful because if you use black and you have really small eyes, that can really make your eyes look smaller. Whereas using a lighter color in the waterline helps to open them up, make them look a little bit more awake. I'm taking this all the way into the corner here. That's going to be really pretty once I smoke out my waterline. And for my contour, I'm going to use this concealer right here. This is also from Juvia's Place. This is in the shade 6. This is super dark. This is super duper dark. I'm going to use it sparingly. So I'm just going to put a couple little dots. I'm going to work with this first. Ooh, yep. See? You see what I mean? This is pretty dark, but that's okay though. I'm going to make this work out in my favor. I'm gonna work quickly so that it doesn't dry down too much in one spot since it is quite dark. The fact that I'm going to be putting my foundation on top of this is going to help me out. If I were putting this on top of my foundation, this would definitely not work. It would be entirely too dark. Entirely too dark. Go back in with the same brush that I used for my foundation and just gently tap in the areas where the darkest concealer and the lightest concealer are coming together. I want that to be nice and soft. This is super dark, so I'm going to just take some of this off of the applicator so it's not so saturated on the applicator. And I'm going to try to chisel out this double chin just a little bit. Only need just a little bit. Okay, not too bad. And then for my nose, I am still going to try to stick with this same very dark, very deep concealer. Hope I don't regret it. I'm going to go ahead and use this handy dandy 242 brush. You guys have heard me talk about the 242. I have not dipped this applicator back into the bottle again. I'm just using whatever little bit that's still on there. I'm putting just a little tiny bit on this brush. And I am going to chisel out my nose just a bit. I'm gonna take a smaller brush and I'm gonna start blending this before it dries down too much. Kind of bringing it around, right down up under that brow. There are various brushes that I use, right, when it comes to making up my face. But I will say, this MAC 242 brush is a brush that you should definitely have in your collection, for sure. It does everything. There's nothing that this brush cannot do. All right, I'm gonna use my sponge here. Just gonna gently tap over everything that I've got down right now. Making sure it's nice and smooth. I'm now going in with my liquid highlighter. To get this look, you can use any liquid highlighter product. And I like putting it up under my foundation because I like that glow from within type of look. I don't want my highlighter to look like it's just sitting on top of my skin. So that's why I like to do this way. So I put it here like so, and I'm just going to tap it in just to blend it in. Get the placement right in this area right here. Just like that. Not too much, just enough. And whatever's remaining here, I'm gonna go ahead and take it down the bridge of the nose. Hit a little bit right here on my Cupid's bow with whatever's remaining. Just like that. It's now time for foundation. So I have not set my under eyes just yet. If you've noticed that, I have not set my under eyes just yet. And that's okay because I am going to set them, but I want to get all of my cream products on first. If I see where I have any little lines or anything that's starting to form in there, I'm just going to go ahead and tap them out with the same brush that I was using before. But I like to make certain that all of my complexion products are in place before I start the setting process. I'm using the shade Rio in this foundation, this I Am Magic Radiant Foundation. In the I Am Magic Matte Foundation, I use the shade Somalia, but my complexion has changed a bit. I start my foundation application here at the jawline and then work down into the area around my mouth. That's because this area here around my mouth normally requires the most coverage. So I start there first. So now I'm just going over the area where I've applied the darkest shade of concealer as kind of a contour bronze type of thing I've got going on here. I'm now using my foundation brush to kind of go over those areas just to blend it in. And you can still see that highlighter shining through. I like this shade match. I picked this foundation up from Ulta and I think it looks pretty good. Now, with this look, I did say that I wanted it to be all about the complexion, which it is. So the concealer that I used was in the shade 12, right? Yeah, it was in shade 12. It's very close to this foundation shade. So I think I want to lighten it up just a little bit. And this is the reason why I hold off on setting my face, because if I want to change something, if I've already set it, I can't change it, right? So I'm still at the molding point. Nothing has been set. I haven't added any powder, so I can still add some other color in if I want to. And in this instance, I'm going to lighten up my under eyes just a little bit more. I'm going to use this shade. This is shade 15. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, just a little bit. I'll put it right in here. Just like that. And just a little bit right there. These are kind of my little problem areas as well. I'm gonna let this sit just a minute before I blend it in. All right, it's set for a while. I'm gonna gently start blending this in. I'm trying to make certain also that I don't take this concealer too far on my nose where it messes up the contour that I've already done on the nose, right? So I'm keeping it right below that contour line, if you can see that. All right, that's giving me a little bit more brightness under the eye. Yeah, just a little bit. All right, now going in with my sponge. This is a damp sponge. And I'm just going to make certain that everything is nice and smooth. Alright, I am going to start setting. I'm going to set my under eye area first. I'm going to use this shade right here. This shade is called Peaches and Cream. You don't have to use this shade, but I like to set my eye here lately. I've been liking to set my eyes with a powder that has a little bit more of a peachy type of undertone to it versus a yellow. And I've been liking how that looks on me. I normally would use my little foam wedge, but I've been using these little triangle-like puffs here lately. I picked these up from Amazon and I really like these. These are nice as well. Under eyes are set. And to set my entire face, I'm going to use this setting powder. This is from Black Opal. This is in the shade 400 Medium. So I've got a little bit here in the cap. I'm going to start here. This is a really pretty powder. Now that I've got my powders on, I'm going to start melting everything together. So I'm going to start off by using my MAC Fix Plus. Still use this. This is a staple. As far as I'm concerned, this is always going to be a staple for me in my makeup routine. I'm now going to go in with my Beauty Elixir from Haute. This also helps with the melting process. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. I'm now going to use this bronzer from Juvia's Place. It's in the shade Bronzed. And I'm going to use a mixture of these two together. And I'm just going to bronze just a little bit. And I'm pretty much just going over the same areas where I used the cream or the liquid bronzer before to kind of contour out my face. I'm just going back in over those areas almost to like set those areas. Very nice. I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush like so. I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of go up and down in here, tap this off, and I'm just going to gently reinforce the contour that I have on my nose. Only this time I'm going to take it all the way out here. So I'm going up under the brow and bringing it all the way out just to kind of give a little bit more depth to what I've got going on here. Just like so. I'm going to go back to my MAC 242 here, and I'm going to go into the darkest bronzer shade here, and I'm actually going to use this to smoke out my waterline. Very, very pretty. And for my blush today, I'm going to use the Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette. This is from Juvia's Place. This shade is called Zuba. So I'm going to try using this. It looks like a really soft pink type of shade. Making sure I'm hitting my apples of the cheeks, but also pulling it back. Super pretty. I'm moving on to lips, and I'm going to use two lipsticks from Juvia's Place. One is in the shade Lady, one is in the shade Cocoa. This is what Lady looks like, and this is what Cocoa looks like. And I'm going to use Lady right in the center. Pretty, very, very pretty. And I think this look is done. I love all of the products that I used from Juvia's Place today, but I love Juvia's Place in general. This Radiant foundation is definitely beautiful. I love how it looks on my complexion. The concealer from Juvia's Place has always been a love for me. I love the coverage and I love how it wears. The lipsticks from Juvia's Place are gorgeous lipsticks. I love, love the Juvia's Place lipsticks. The bronzer from Juvia's Place is also a keeper. I'm so happy to have all of these Juvia's Place products in my collection, and I am going to be reaching for the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Radiant Foundation quite often. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.